Hello, this is Brian Casey, Editor-in-Chief of AmpMini.com, and we're here at the 2015 edition of the RSNA meeting in Chicago. We have with us right now the PACSman, Michael J. Cannavo. Mike, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me, Brian.
Sure. So there's been a concept that's been floating around in the PACS and imaging informatics industry for about the last year or so, this idea of deconstructed PACS. And so can you talk a little bit about what exactly that is, and is it something that's really happening out in the industry that radiology sites are doing, or is it just a little bit of a fiction?
It's a little bit of both. There's actually one company that started the concept of deconstructed PACS and a few other companies who have jumped on the bandwagon. The concept, though, of deconstructed PACS has been around for a number of years. The issue is that there hasn't been the standards that have evolved to allow you to go ahead and pull these different components together easily without constructing specific APIs and other ways of interfacing them.
So in the past with PACS, a radiology site would go with a single vendor. They would provide your viewer, they'd provide your archiving, they'd provide your communication, and that was kind of how PACS was set up in the past. And now with the deconstructed concept, can you talk a little bit about what exactly is happening there?
Sure. What we're doing with the deconstructed PACS concept is you have an archive that can be separate, viewers that can be separate, and you can also take different components and integrate them together to build what is best known as best of breed. It's interesting, there's two different philosophies. There's the deconstructed PACS philosophy now, where you construct the best of breed, and interestingly enough, there is the one PAC concept coming back, where you take everything that's integrated together.
So it's kind of back to the future.
Exactly.
And why is that happening?
A lot of people, especially the IT community, want the one throat to choke. They don't want to have to go back to look at different vendors. They don't have the depth of resources internally to integrate the disparate systems together and to support the disparate systems. The ideal is that you can get the best solution from disparate components and integrate them together, but whether you have the resources is another story. So you have companies that are doing the one PACS type solution.
Now are these, with the best of breed approach, are all these parts working together? I mean, I know we've got standards like DICOM and IHE, but as anybody that's tried to use a Windows computer can attest to, sometimes it's pretty hard to get all this stuff to work together.
It's very difficult to get it to work together, and one of the biggest challenges you have is when you're putting different software together that may not have been tested and worked together, and that's one of the issues that you deal with relative to support, is pulling it together. When you look at the computers themselves specifically, there is a lot of other applications on top of there that physicians will use, and sometimes those applications interfere with the applications that are specific for radiology, so you have to work around those. The integration takes time, but you can get the best of breed solution out of that.
What kind of advice do you have for a site that is looking at replacing a legacy PACS with this older architecture with something newer? Should they look at this best of breed approach, or should they be thinking of going again with the one PACS approach?
The best approach, and actually the article that I most recently wrote in AmpMini kind of summarizes it: forget about architecture, forget about hardware, forget about software. Look at your needs, look at your applications, and make sure that whatever you're doing meets the application. Then fit the software to the application specific. Don't necessarily look at a particular vendor, don't necessarily look at a particular platform. Everybody, for example, is going now to zero footprint viewers. Look at a zero footprint viewer, but don't spend your life looking at all the different zero footprint viewers out there. Make sure that you find what you need to meet your application.
Another issue is the increasing control that hospital IT departments are having over PACS, over radiology and PACS. Is that something you see as a threat to radiology controlling its own imaging informatics, or is that a positive trend?
That's something that's actually been going on for the past 7 to 10 years, where IT is becoming more and more involved. The C-suites are becoming more and more involved in the decision-making process. That, frankly, is something that has to happen, because as we go toward the concept of an electronic health record, radiology PACS, cardiology PACS, and now the new one, which is pathology, is going to be integrated together to create the full electronic health record, so that we can go ahead and bring it out to the masses, we can bring it out to the primary care physicians, we can have patient enablement and things of that sort. So that has to happen, and it has been happening for a while. IT needs to be very closely involved in the decision-making process.
Any other advice that you have for your clients?
Think. with all due respects to IBM, think it through. What you've done in the past may not be the right solution for now. So think it through and focus on the applications.
All right, great. Mike, thanks for being with us again.
Thank you once again, Brian. Have a great day.
Signing off for AntMini.com, this is Brian Casey.